So, week 6, guys. Time to talk about it. It's only been 2 days since one of the worst games that I've watched, at least as far as the first half goes. And now we're already talking about the Eagles and the Giants. It's Thursday Night Football. It's fun. I talked about the Vikings game, saying that that was the most important, and I said that I was very confident that we'd win, but we'll see how that goes. Who do I think we'll trade for? I don't know, man. I said it yesterday. I have no idea who we're going to trade for, so the Eagles got this game, but they got to make big plays. Yeah, I agree with that. We need to not only just make big plays, but we need to stay consistent. We need to, all sides of the ball. Defense needs to stop and get off the field on third downs and on fourth downs if, the time comes when the team goes for it. And offensively, we need to keep drives going, which means we actually have to stay with the run game for once. If Jay Ajayi didn't fumble, we should have won. Not only that, but if we had elected to go for a field goal in the what was it? Like early fourth quarter? If we had went for that field goal, guys, we lost by 2 points. Kick a field goal, you'll win by 1. I'm just saying. Yes, Ajayi fumbled the football, but we should not have been that aggressive. The aggressive that Doug Peterson was stupid aggressive. He was not thinking. He was just like, oh, I got to do something. I can't just go for the field goal. I got to do something better. He wasn't thinking, like, logically. He was just thinking with his ego. I guess we could say with his ego, because we know last year he built himself off of being more aggressive, going for it on fourth downs and making it on fourth downs. But those fourth downs were manageable, and in those periods in the game where either you're behind by 3 or a touchdown and you got to make the score, you got to keep the drive going, or you're ahead and time's going down and you don't want to give the ball to the opposing team. It's that simple. In this instance, you have Jake Elliott, who's kicked a 61-yarder on this very field to win a game. This could be the field goal that can push you to win this game. After that, all you need is a touchdown. And guess what? We got that touchdown. Just get the field goal, get the Vikings off the field like you did in the previous drives before that, and there you go. You're golden. You just got to sustain a drive and make the touchdown happen. He didn't do that because he wasn't thinking, and it costed us the game. It's idiotic. Well, let's see what else we got here. The sad thing is no changes will be made on defense as far as press coverage. Sick of that. Yeah, I don't like how much cushion we get. And the amount of cushion that Jalen Mills specifically gives his receivers makes me very worried when he goes up against Odell Beckham this upcoming Thursday. Because we saw it last year at the Link. We were winning that game 14-0, and Odell Beckham against Jalen Mills, that's the first time we saw that Jalen Mills actually sucked. Okay, that's the first game where we really saw it, where we really said to ourselves, wow, Jalen Mills isn't that good. And we watched the tape. He's giving him from the line of scrimmage all the way up to that yellow first down marker. Why are you giving him so much room to run? The best thing about the best corners in the league is that they are always aggressive and they're always good at man-to-man coverage. You cannot say that you're a good corner if you cannot do good on man-to-man coverage. It's an issue for sure. Doug has to be smart and not aggressive the whole time, especially with the players we had being aggressive last year. Can't do it this year. Our O-line not doing good. Yeah, it's down to situational football, really. That's what he claimed it to be last year, was situational football, right? He did it against the Giants when he decided to go for the field goal. That was him being aggressive, because it's either you make this or we just go to overtime. And now you're doing this when you're down by a touchdown. A field goal would not lower your chances of losing, especially with 8 minutes left on the clock. You just have to make one stop and then get the touchdown. Regardless, you just got to get one touchdown. But 3 points, that helps you motivate yourself. That helps push the team to be like, yeah, we're right there. We're right there with the game, with the win. Like, it's still so frustrating that when I try to explain it, I'm stuttering on my words. But it's just irritating. I should do these, keep doing these live. That's what I plan on doing. With the Thursday night football game, I wouldn't expect a live stream though, because it's gonna be late at night. by the time the fourth quarter comes around, I'll just record a live reaction of what happens. So, but this game, the Eagles should win this game. And I've said that I've said that all 5 of the games that we've played, and we've lost 3 of them. And it's not because the team is bad. We can say how bad they've looked all we want. Statistically, they aren't that bad. Carson Wentz in his first 3 games this year compared to his first 3 games last year has been playing better, which shocks me considering how little we've scored compared to last year and how little we've won compared to last year. It doesn't make sense in my head, but it's the truth. In these 3 games, he's gotten over 900 yards, 5 touchdowns, and an interception. The fumbles haven't been his fault because Lane Johnson hasn't blocked enough for him. Douglas might not be standing out at practice. For them to leave him on the bench and let Maddox have a starting role, I'm confused. Well, Maddox, yeah, I mean, because Douglas performed very well in the preseason. He got burned back-to-back games, back-to-back drives in a certain game, if I remember correctly. But we saw him last year in his rookie year stepping up when Darby dislocated his foot or his ankle or whatever earlier on in the year. And he looked good. He picked off Eli Manning in that big 61-yarder to win field goal game back in week 3 of last year. So there's definitely talent there. And I mean, Maddox played pretty good on Sunday as a safety. He didn't do too bad. I mean, it all comes down to just execution. Jalen Mills hasn't been executing. And we also didn't have Derek Barnett. I haven't talked about this at all. We didn't have Derek Barnett against the Vikings, which may have impacted the amount of execution because we were getting a decent amount of pass rush on Kirk Cousins. But by the time Fletcher Cox or Brandon Graham got to him, the ball was out of his hand. I feel like if Derek Barnett was there, who knows? Maybe we would have gotten more sacks, more hits on the guy. But that wasn't the case. This game upcoming with the Giants, we do have Derek Barnett back, and we have Corey Clement back. And whoever we trade for, whether that's McCoy, somehow Le'Veon Bell, somehow David Johnson, Jordan Howard, whoever, they're not going to play this Thursday. It's too close of a window because by the time we trade for them, by the time whoever has to fly in here flies in here, we're already prepping for the road trip on Wednesday to get there on Thursday. So whoever we get, don't expect them to make any impact on this Thursday, but the next following game against the Panthers, yeah, definitely. And whoever that is still up in the air. I would go on a limb and say that the Eagles are going to get McCoy. That's just my opinion. And I talked yesterday about it, and I didn't really want that. But at the same time, it's probably the best thing if we can't land someone as big as Le'Veon Bell. So let's see what you said here, Matt. Every game, we need a miracle at the end. The Falcons' defense has stopped them. But our offense has to score at the end. Colts' defense had to stop from the Colts from scoring. Titan offense scored, and against the Vikings too. Yeah. As bad as we're playing, our defense is better than the Rams. Exactly. See, thank you for that, Bergen. That's what I wanted to talk about as well. We, as a defense, I said it yesterday, actually. We, as a defense, statistically, points allowed, top 10. That's insane, right? With how bad we claim ourselves to be on defense, top 10 in points allowed. That means we're keeping them down to, I believe, like 20.8 or something around that. I can't remember off the top of my head the exact number. But we're keeping opponents down in the 20 range. The most that we've allowed was 27 against the Bucs, and there was 26 against the Titans. We allowed 12 to the Falcons, and then 20 to the Colts, and then 21 or 23 to the Vikings. We haven't allowed more than 30 points a game like the Rams have in 2 back-to-back games, mind you, where they almost lost. The Vikings stayed with the Rams for a decent amount of time, and then on Sunday the Rams came in to Seattle, and Seattle almost beat them. It came down to the last couple of minutes of the game. So I'm just saying, our offense hasn't scored over 23, but sometimes you wouldn't think it would have to. You know, you wouldn't think we'd have to score over 23 with the teams that we played. You saw the Falcons. We all knew it was going to be a defensive struggle. We saw the Bucs, and we were like, okay, maybe we'll score over 23 or 25 or however many and keep them back. But no one expected the Buccaneers to be firing on all cylinders like they were. That's a fact. No one expected that. The Saints lost to them too. That's the only loss the Saints have. And no one's talking about the Saints that badly. But then again, they've won 4 straight after that. So, but we shouldn't really have to worry about scoring an absurd amount of points like the Rams do every week, like the Chiefs do every week. Like, you would think that we would just have to outplay a certain team and and then just hold them down. Like the Falcons, like how we had the lead in the fourth quarter. Sure, it took a miracle at the end of the game to keep them out of the end zone, but we did it. And we didn't have to worry about coming from behind late in the fourth quarter like we did against the Colts. It's just frustrating. Against the Giants on Thursday, I don't expect us, if we lose, I don't expect us to be losing by more than 7. So, how can we not beat the Buccaneers but the Bears could? Again, the Buccaneers in the first 2 weeks were on fire. Then they played the Steelers, who were ice cold. Let the Steelers catch on fire, and then they just let themselves sit out, and nothing else happened after that. And it's hard to answer these kinds of questions when you see the Browns. They're 2-1. They're tied with the Steelers. They're a game and a half out of first place. That, like, what? Like, I don't know. That's weird, right? It doesn't make sense. The Cowboys are 2-3. They have the worst offense in the league right now, one of them, and they're still 2-3. I don't know. The Giants are 1-4, minus scoring 30 against the Panthers. I don't know. It's weird. If the Rams flop, the NFC is wide open. Regardless of a flop or not, the NFC is wide open because I don't believe the Rams are good enough still. I need to see more from them. I need to see them play against, they played against the Vikings. I need them to play against teams that have been in the playoffs, minus the Vikings, of course. The Vikings had a miracle that got them to the championship game. I'm not going to count that, but I need to see the Rams play the Saints, you know. I need to see them play the Falcons again and win against them, unlike what they did in the playoffs. I need to see them play against even the Buccaneers, with the way the Buccaneers started off the year. I don't care. I need to see them play against more teams that aren't the Bears or whoever else. I don't know. It's just a weird year. It's just really weird. And funny thing about it is, if we win this Thursday, we're in first place. So you need a gritty defense to beat the Rams. Look at Seattle. That game was close. But the Seahawks also managed to score on the Rams. The Rams defense, despite getting Ndamukong Suh, re-signing Aaron Donald, getting Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib and so on, Sam Shields, that defense is not good. Their defense is allowing so many points compared to what we're allowing. We're just not scoring enough. And I agree. We haven't been scoring more than 23, but at the same time, you wouldn't think that we'd need to. Because at the end of the day, we're making that one mistake that costs us these last couple of games that we've lost. So, against the Giants, we made a mistake. But in my opinion, we have the answer in all of our people. Yeah, I agree. They all average 5 per carry, 92 game. Corners and receivers. Exactly. Bird Gang, I agree with you 100%, and it's what I've been saying ever since we lost to the Buccaneers. The run game needs to come in and save us. Because people are putting everything on Carson, when Carson's been throwing 332 touchdowns. You know, like, Carson's been playing better than he did last year as far as stats go. We're just not winning games because we're playing one-dimensional for whatever reason, for God knows what reason, because Doug wants to be more aggressive. Well, guess what? You don't have to be aggressive to win games all the time. You just need to be smart. You need to think logically. And that's not what I think. If we win the next game, we'll go being a divisional rival for sure, and it makes sense. Clearly, for a while, and Peters is hurt, yeah. But even with them in, you saw them in the way they played in previous weeks. They didn't. I'm just not remembering because I don't really care for the Rams. I'm not really following up on their games. I just follow up on whether they win or lose. I haven't seen them win in like a super dominant way. You know, I'm just saying. Yeah, that's what I was initially thinking. But I mean, if we do trade for somebody, who knows? I mean, for whatever. So I'm the only person who thinks home field advantage doesn't matter. Sometimes it doesn't. In the first year with everything, it mattered. Right now, no one's even talking about the home field advantage because home field advantage, like it's not that it doesn't matter. It's just as of right now, there's no need to talk about it because everybody is just as hungry and is playing for the same reason. That's to get to the playoffs right now. You know, that's all they're playing for. Once you get in the playoffs, it's different. It's a different game, a different mentality. That's why when everyone had to come to field, despite being underdogs, it made sense why home field advantage was so big for us. How do you feel about Jordan Howard? If we get Jordan Howard, that'd be pretty good. He kind of resembles Jay Ajayi in a way. He's a bigger back. He can break a tackle. He's pretty out of the backfield. I wouldn't mind. I'm a big fan of him. Fantasy-wise, he's killing it. He's gonna. People are speculating he's going to go over 1,000 yards rushing again. So I doubt that we'll get him. Again, he's a big part of that Bears offense, and a big reason why they're worried. Yeah, I wouldn't expect them to give them up either. Are you except for coverage? That's what I believe. Like it's more frustrating if it's just being played bad because it's little things that overshadow everything make us seem worse. You know, people saying we have an identity crisis when we're losing our backs, our offensive line. That's really it. And that's screwing us up because we're playing too soft, and then we catch back up. We screw ourselves up. So fourth time did any screams against Vikings because we didn't really. Because Smalley's probably our best catching, even though he had touchdowns. and it's not in his track record to be that great. Right out of the back, he almost lost. Kind of supposed to Rams last week. I've seen something. That, yeah, definitely. Just scoring 31 points is really great in order to show that they're good. Like the Vikings, okay, they're good, but it's like I know we just lost them and everything, but we kind of gave them the win. If you really think about it, the Vikings are not that great. They really aren't that great at all. They got to the championship off of a miracle. They were red hot last year. That was just kind of I wouldn't say a fluke. They definitely have the talent and everything. It's just my eyes, they're not that great. And the Rams are not that great either. Yeah, exactly. But it's time to get off. So going back to the Giants game, I believe the Eagles will win. And let's see what you said, your Logic TV. I'm more afraid of the Saints and Rams. Yeah, watching the Saints run over the Redskins, Ingram was like, oh, they're back, and it's scary. So, yeah, definitely. The score, I'm gonna give an if win and if we lose. I'll keep saying that all year. We will win the game if we win, which I believe we will. 27-20. It'll be a close game, but we will win this game. It'll be close. It'll be 24. Yeah, I'll see more touches. Wendell Smallwood averaging over 6 yards a carry. And I told you, I'm like, well, we need too much action for coverage on defense. Has to stop penalties. We need to stop them. Penalties, again, the Vikings weren't even that big of an issue. It was really just coverage not doing its job, and yeah, offensive line not being able to. We can just cover Odell. We can cover Odell Beckham. We're golden. We just need our offense, specifically. And yes, Wendell Smallwood has a very good. I'm saying when we drafted him back in 2016, him and Wentz definitely could do something together if they were, the running back duo. Can't rely on Wendell. You haven't given him a chance. You haven't given him. He's been prone short. Right now, look at the running backs that we've had this year. He's been the only one that's been hurt, and the only one that had 6 yards per carry on average. So, hey. I'm gonna stick with working, and if it's Wendell Smallwood, I'll stick with Wendell Smallwood. Unless we get some Le'Veon Bell top tier back, then whatever. He caught 2 touchdowns last week and 6 yards per carry. He's trying to give it. What's spunky? I'm crazy. I think it's time that I hop off, but I'll be doing streaming or definitely stream like this more often. Probably longer, but right now it's struggling a little. So Eagles will win this. There isn't a lot of issues. They're just small little things that cost us big, and we just gotta work on them. We can win. I believe we will, and when we do that, we'll take first place right back from the Redskins, and we'll hold it from there. I'll see you guys when I see you guys in the next video. Fly. Have a great rest of your guys.